Hello, YouTube fam. I know I talk about this a lot, but this is your Uncle Tim. This is Uncle Tim Rants and Reviews, a channel where I rant and I review, man. I was trying to buy some comic books the other day. We in 2024. I wanted to know what the landscape of comic books look like. I wanted to know what, if I started to collect right now, what would that look like? Where would I be at? You know, what do the X-Men look like? What does all of these other big books, you know, from Marvel and DC, what do they look like? Who's drawing these books? What's the story like? You know, I noticed in a lot of the books, a lot of the story is about feelings. And, you know, that ain't what I'm used to. When I look at comic books, man, I want to be entertained. I don't want to see what real life look like right now, what everybody going through. I want to see something that's going to make me say, damn, you know, Cyclops been punching his hands up against a steel wall trying to open them, even though you know he don't have super strength. He got eye beams. So you trying to figure out why is he hitting his hands up the steel wall? You know, why is he screaming, Jean, Jean? You remember the love triangle between him, Jean Grey, and Wolverine? It's the weirdest shit in comics, man. Then you throw in Madeline Pryor, which was the Jean Grey clone. Man, it was crazy as hell. Then you look at the son that she had, which was Nathan Dayspring or Nathan Summers. Then you had the clone of Nathan Summers, which was Strife. Dude, the story goes so many ways. Then you have Scott and Jean's daughter from the future, which was Rachel Summers, which became the Phoenix in what, episode 199? Or, you know, comic book 199 of the X-Men, Uncanny X-Men. I had that book. Dude, I'm going to explain something. 200, it was one of them. I enjoy this stuff. But this stuff that I'm seeing now, the stories are not what I thought they would be. Dude, I don't want to read a comic book about shit that's going on in the news. I want to read a comic book about shit that's, you know, on a whole nother scale. For instance, look at Witchblade. This was a comic book about something totally different. You know, she was dying, she was reaching for something, and all of a sudden the Witchblade chose her. It attached to her actual hand. And she got vengeance for her dead partner. Dude, it was crazy as hell. This book was amazing. Now, Michael Turner drew like the first, 18 episodes? I say episode, 18 books. And he did a fantastic job. Look at the art. He has a amazing talent of drawing a woman's body. And everybody else, man. He does a great job with the details in the face. And everything else. You know, far as like, look at the actual gauntlet itself. Look how it's forming, and look at all the detail. Just look at everything. And look how he drew his name. Now, Michael Turner passed away a while back in, I think the late 2010s, something like that, of cancer. Dude, the guy drew magnificent. Man, he was amazing. He has a book called Phantoms and some other stuff, man, but this is amazing. Look at this alternate cover of Battle of the Planets. Look how Michael Turner drew the G-Force team. Look how they all look. He made them look badass. Ken the Eagle actually got the eagle claw in his hand. Jason actually has his trademark gun. Keop has his spinning twirly things in his hand. Agatha June, she's not with the yo-yo. She carries a yo-yo. And Hu Tao, you know, he's just big and flies the fiery phoenix, which is at the top. Now, these books have amazing art and amazing stories. That's what a lot of comic books are missing nowadays. Then you get Michael Turner's Justice League of America 0. This book was crazy as hell, but it introduced you into a lot of other stuff that they were doing with the Justice League. Man, great art, man. Just look at the facial details. Look at the suit details. Just amazing. Then we have one of our big guys that's one of the heavy hitters of the day in actually action figures. DC Multiverse, McFarlane Toys. We have Todd McFarlane's Spider-Man. And this is number 14, the Sub City Part 2 of 2 with Morbius. Dude, this was hella fat. Dude, he did a good job, man. See, that's one thing that I loved about these books, man. When I was younger, I loved the artwork. It looks like, like Picasso or somebody drew this, man. The pictures alone in these books made you feel like you wasn't reading a child's publication. Back in the 90s, they left a prospective places of employment in comics. Jim Lee, which was X-Men, Rob Liefeld, X-Force, Todd McFarlane, Spider-Man, Jim Valentino, Guardians of the Galaxy, Eric Lawson, Spider-Man. But again, Jim Lee had what? Wildcats. Rob Liefeld, Youngblood. Todd McFarlane, Spawn. Jim Valentino, Shadowhawk. Eric Lawson, Savage Dragon. The reason then you had Mark Silvestri, who did the X-Men. Man, he did a good job. He did the early 200s or something like that, but he did some good books. He had Cyberforce. He had a lot of books. He had Witchblade, The Darkness. He had all of those books. Ascension. Dude, he had some hella fat. Spirit of the Tale. He had some amazing books. But see, now comics nowadays, they're focused on real life shit. They're woke. They went too damn far. They go to the left, man, real quick. I'm trying to read a book. I remember what it was like, the pure excitement of reading a book when I was younger, looking at the comic book and man, I'm looking at the art, reading the story. I'm all in, man, because, even though these stories had real life shit in them, it just wasn't overdone. Now it's so far out of hand that you be looking at it like, man, I don't even know if I should be reading this. I was looking at an X-Men book, man, and I was like, damn, these pale in comparison to the books I used to read. Remember Wolverine and, Cyclops and Jean Grey's love triangle? You remember all that shit, man. Cable, which was Nathan Dayspring, or, Christopher Summers or Nathan Summers. Then you had Strife, which was his twin, which was cloned. I'm just like, man, it was so much. If you looked at how all these stories, Madeline Pryor, which was Nathan's mother, then you had Jean Grey, which was, Rachel Summers' mother. It was wild how this shit went about. But you loved how it went, man. You loved the new people that came in, how they actually did crossover with comics all the way across. Like, the whole Marvel would do a crossover, the Beyonder, Acts of Vengeance. There was other stuff like Inferno. And you just reading these books and you like, damn, you can't wait to get the next book. You had X Factor, X-Men, X-Force, New Mutants, Excalibur. Damn, it was just so many, and it was just so fun to read. But now, man, it's not really what it is anymore. Comics back in the day used to help kids learn how to read, man. I'm serious. I knew a lot of people who learned how to read really good from comic books, because comic books use bigger words. Most of the time, they don't use 2-cent words. But now that I'm looking at it, man, I'm like, man, I don't even know if I want to read any of this. And back in the day, Rob Liefeld drew women hella fat, dude. And I mean, he drew, you'd be straight up. I understand people say his body poses and everything had so many pouches and shoulder pads and too many guns. I don't care about that, man. That was the fun part. It's fantasy. You're not trying to do reality shit. I don't want to see cops with bullet guns. I want to see laser guns. I want to see them on flying ships. That's what I want to see. And that's what comic books help do. You wanted to see magical stuff that you didn't see normally. And that's what that helped do. It helped bridge the gap between just your mind and your imagination. And man, it helped. You know, it was like climbing a ladder or climbing a set of stairs, man. And you was like, okay, I'm getting it. I'm understanding what they're trying to do here. But I don't understand in these new books. I don't have no new books. I don't understand what the hell they were doing. So I didn't buy them, man. And I'm looking at this like, man, I'm not going to waste my money on this. Dude, I don't care about what you going through and your feelings and how you hurt and, you know, and how they did you. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, wait, hold on. Is this a romance novel, a young person's book, or is this a comic book? Comic books supposed to be fun. They took all the fun out of the damn comic books. And that's what this video is going to be. They took all the fun out of comic books. This is the shit we got now, man. Woke nonsense. And you know what? When I say woke, people said, oh, but woke means this. No, woke means whatever the hell you want it to mean. It just means this shit done went so mainstream that you get lost. And that's what I think. A lot of the characters got lost. Whatever happened to Pharaoh? She died because of somebody killed her. You know, I'm like, damn, dude. Like, come on, can we have some characters that I like, man? Dude, let's redo some of these people. Bring some of the characters back. Let's see what we doing. Dude, comics are not comics anymore. A lot of this stuff, man, is young people stuff. Romance novels. You know, shit that I'm trying to figure out, why would I spend money buying this? Comics are not comics anymore. But till later, thank you for watching. Peace out.